Hey guys, welcome back to Parkitect. I believe we left off here at Chanute Airfield, and it's been a little while since I've played this game again. I've had a lot going on, as usual. I mean, it's honestly not even anything different for me at this point. But yeah, welcome back. Those of you that are watching, it is very appreciated. I know this series is kind of something, different from what I usually do, and that's fine for me. Different is it's good in a way, because I do love these kind of games, and even though I don't spend as much time on them as I wish I could, I still do like making these videos and uploading them, at least seeing some of the feedback that you guys give me. Please comment, anything that you see that I might need help in. I will, follow whatever you say, because I am not an expert at this game whatsoever, and I just try my best to make things look good. And that's about it. Like, I don't really know much of the shortcuts or things that would actually make the game go by a lot better, especially when it comes to building coasters. I'm not that great at it, as I've said before. It's just a pretty big pain for me. Right now I'm just placing down a couple of flat rides. Just, you gotta get that park tickets and sales to go up, and that's partially one reason why. And I do apologize if there's any like skipping or frame rate drops or anything like that. I tried a different way of downloading this recording. This time I recorded it while I was streaming instead of downloading it straight from Twitch, because I wanted to see how the quality would, be compared to that. And so far it doesn't really look that much different. I do see a little bit of cuts here and there that are, a little bit, messing with me, but I'll see what I can do. Maybe next time I'll not stream for 4 hours and at least make it a little bit shorter. I did have quite the audio issues during that stream as well. There was, for some reason, my mic, like, you couldn't hear me for like the beginning of the sentence, and then sometimes at the very end it would just cut out, and then for a while you couldn't hear the game. And I spent probably 30-45 minutes in the stream trying to figure it out, and I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. I'll try sometime, hopefully the next stream I can figure it out, find a way to get that audio fixed. I'll probably have to go through and re-download all of the stuff for it. Anyways, yeah, I don't even know what to say. How have you guys been? It's been a crazy couple weeks, and especially in this park, I had a big problem with space issues, because you don't really get that much space in this one, and it took me, I think, in total like 10 to 12 of the in-game years to actually beat the scenario, which I believe that will be the next video. I'll try to actually not do a time lapse and towards the end of it, and actually go through and show everything that I did off camera, because I did a lot off camera, including I think it's just one coaster, but it's one of my better ones so far, in my opinion. I'm slightly getting better at it, but you gotta start somewhere. Here, I had the same problem I did with the last coaster, where I couldn't find anything to sort of, like, fit right there on the corner where the entrance is. It just, no matter what you do, it just doesn't really, there's nothing in the game that'll match it. So it bothered me quite a bit. I'd end up, I believe, just putting like a flat roof on it off camera, because it was just something that was bothering me. Like, just even right now, you can tell I'm trying to find something to put there, and I think I'd go with that for a little while, and it didn't really work out for me. Regardless, this game, I believe, is the one where I have quite a few of the same thrill rides. Like, I placed 2 of the same ones back to back, and they were making equally the same amount. So I don't know if that's just, you know, something that they didn't account for whenever they were making the game, because it is, I mean, I can understand it if it's like a waiting issue, you know, if you have your queues too long and they don't want to wait to go ride that ride. But the little peeps in here aren't really that smart, and for some reason they'll ride this one and then they'll go and ride the same exact ride right next to it, and then they'll just keep doing that over and over again. Which, I mean, if it beats the lines, then, you know, good for them. Can't really say much about it. But I do like the way that I actually designed these 2 rides, because even though they're the same ride, I do the same exact queue line for them, and it actually worked out, especially with different colors, because I went with a brighter color scheme on this one, which I think this one's the yellow and black one, so it's sort of like a bumblebee kind of thing. And, you know, I think it worked pretty well. You'll see the end result in detail in the next video, which will be the last one on Chanute Airfield. I still have yet to stream the next map. I'm not sure which one it is. I haven't really gone and looked at what's next. It might be a desert one. If so, then that's going to be kind of interesting. But regardless, I haven't really played this game in, I want to say a week, 2 weeks. Yeah, it was roughly around there. Here, I had a problem with trash for a little bit, so I just put down some trash chutes, and it sort of cleared up the problem for a little bit. I do learn later on that whenever you place down one of the little depots, that it counts as like a trash compactor thing or whatever, and they'll go and take the trash there instead. So you don't necessarily need these, if that makes any sense, because it just connects over to the depot anyways. So I guess it's depending on your placement of where all your restaurants and shops are. If they're close enough district-wise, you don't really need these little trash chutes or whatever. But, you know, you gotta keep it different every now and then. So, I think right now is whenever I start this coaster, which is a spinning coaster. I think it's been so long since I've played it, but this the way that I did the station for it, I did kind of copy the same layout that the entrance has, and I did put my own little twist on it to make it sort of match, and I think detail wise it turned out pretty nice. And I think it took me a couple of tries here to get the nausea rating down, because it was in the extreme or somewhere around there, and I had to fix a couple of spots in there where it was just too spinny, I guess, too fast for them. And you know, that's fine. It's gonna take a little bit of trial and error for me to get used to these kinds of things, and I especially had trouble in this part, which I think is where I had the kind of trouble, because it was going too fast, I believe. Down, I didn't have enough brakes throughout the ride, which, I mean, I'm still getting used to the whole block brake thing and adding extra cars. Because the best way to do it is to not have them waiting, you know, I want it 10-15 seconds until the next one, or the next train reaches the block brake, because then it'll go on to the next one, and then it'll just do the same thing where they're each waiting. And I've ridden a couple of rides in real life that are like that, where you'll reach a certain spot and you'll just stop, and it won't be like that long. It'll be like 5-10 seconds long maybe, and then you'll continue with the ride. And it's because of that. It's mainly like a safety measure, I think. They don't want the cars or the trains or whatever crashing into each other, which, I mean, it makes sense. You definitely don't want that. And I believe it's that little hump right there that causes a lot of problems for me. I didn't really even it out enough, so it, like, as you can tell right there, it makes the nausea pretty bad. I don't know if I fix it right away or not, but I guess you'll end up saying it anyways. Here is where I start out on the station, and it is probably one of my favorite ones that I've built so far, even off camera, because even though it is sort of a copied style, I do make it a little bit different. I add, you know, some extra details to it. You'll see how it turns out. In my opinion, it's pretty nice. But if you guys would like me to do, you know, some more parts in the videos where I'll just stop and go over what I built, or even in the end of the video, like, just, you know, go over everything that I did during that time lapse, let me know, because I can definitely do that. So far, not many people have really been that interested in the series, which, you know, I can't blame them. This is my 4th video on it, and the first one is always the one that gets, you know, the most views for it, and then it'll slowly trickle down for each video until people eventually lose interest in it. And I understand it. You know, it's not something that I'm too stressed about. I do have a problem with, you know, looking at the views, and even whenever I'm at work, I'll, like, take a look at it, and it's like, oh, you know, it's only at this amount of views. Not that many people are interested in it, but I know that's what you got to do to keep it going. You know, you have to start somewhere, and if you don't stick to it, then, you know, you can't get anywhere. And the whole point for me doing this isn't, you know, it isn't for anything other than my love for these kind of games, and I wanted to sort of express that on YouTube with you know, these videos. And, you know, I think everyone that watches them and, you know, leaves feedback on them, it does help a lot. And I love you guys. And Hardy, if you're here, thank you. You know, you're one of the reasons why I still play all of these games that I do, and without you, it would be a pretty boring time spent. So I do thank you a lot for that. Even if you, I know you're probably not that interested in these videos, and I don't even think you watch them, but still, without your support and your help, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, and I do recognize that. So here is where it starts to look kind of unique in the aspect that it does follow the style of the park, of the airfield, and I had a little bit of problem getting the colors in there to match up, especially with turning the camera. I'm not that used to keyboard yet. I mainly play on PS4 and stuff like that with a controller, so don't blame me if you get some kind of nausea from me turning the camera a lot. But if you like what I did here, leave a like on the video, comment, tell me what you think of how I did this coaster, especially that plane on top and the matching blue color for it. It just kind of made it perfect. It set it off. It made it finished, if you know what I mean. But anyways, this is where I'm gonna stop. So thank you for coming by. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Peace.